Motherhood. That is the conversation we are unpacking today. So excited to be Shoda Young. I'm here with my co-host, Shanae Roman, and we are talking, as I said, motherhood. So excited to be here with you guys. So
Definitely.
excited to share this information. A lot of people think about motherhood when they just become a
Yes.
mother. And I think, like when we were speaking about this initially, the conversation was definitely flowing and it was so amazing and it was so great. And so I'm hoping that we can have that same spark because when you
Definitely.
are doing something authentically, for
Mm-hmm.
some odd reason, it always just,
Flows.
it flows. So, one of the things that I have been asking myself, but I think I would love to share that with you,
Yes.
and I would like you to unpack some things for me. And it's literally what your biggest fear was when you would when you became a mom.
Jeez. Hey everyone. So Nay Roman, and I would say that one of my biggest fear for sure show is the fact that I had to, birthing a child and falling pregnant. It's different compared to actually having or knowing that, hey, I'm about to become a mother. Where do I start? What do I do? Do I have the knowledge? And yes, there's a whole team behind you, but my biggest fear was, will my baby be healthy? And there's so many things that comes into play if you do think of childbirth, and especially going through that for your first time. So health in general, and then also having to actually look after this human being and being a mom. So I had a list of fears that I had, but I think the most important one was health, childbirth, and then of course being able to look after my son. That was one of a few of the fears that I actually had, with the whole list of other ones.
I think, honestly speaking, there's so many
Yes, there is.
that we could unpack. I was also very concerned about health. That
Yes.
was a big thing. When you fall pregnant, when you give birth,
Mm,
um, your first thing is, in fact, before you give birth, your first thing is to, will they have healthy, will they be healthy, will they have 10
mhm.
toes, 10 fingers,
Yes.
are they going to be normal? And that was one of the things that I definitely focused on.
Mm,
I prayed a lot during my pregnancy, and I'm a firm believer of praying. And then, of course, the small fears, like, how's this baby coming out of me?
mm.
Am I going to handle this? Will I make
Childbirth.
it? Is it going to be okay? So, those things were definitely a big deal for me. Um, and I think another fear is just not being able to show up for your kids. So
Mm.
that was a big thing for me. I felt like I would really want to be there. I want to be present mom. So before coming a mom, I mean, if I think about it now, I've had a number of fears, and that's just the few I've mentioned. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's also a few. And just, before we bounce, because I also have quite a few questions for you, show, is just, I think every mom feels that way. What fear you develop this fear in you, in terms of what my baby, some moms like what my baby's going to look like. There's a list of things, and these are just a few things that we are mentioning based on experience. But I think overall, as moms, if ever there was an experience where you found out that my pregnancy is a bit of a risky pregnancy, or you got the bad news type of the thing. It's something that I think we can also have a show on, because there's a lot of moms out there that also had the fear of, will my baby be normal, and things turned out south. So it's we also we really do acknowledge that as well. We're not sitting here thinking that, oh my gosh, is my baby going to be normal, and all of that, but we do acknowledge that there are moms out there that are really also going through the most because of what had transpired during the conception of you know baby. So yes, that's also just what I wanted to mention. But one of the things that I think, the questions that I really want to ask in terms of becoming a mom and that whole fear, the expectation of becoming a mom, how does one, especially in today's life, day and age, whether you're a single parent and especially single moms, please drop in the comment section or, you know, if you're listening to this, let us know, how do you make time for yourself as a mom in general? Now that you've had the fear of becoming a mom, right? And all of a sudden you are a mom, you've gone through the journey, and it's like, where do I find time for myself?
I don't think I have any time to myself. I haven't mastered the art of finding time for myself. My
Mm-hmm.
kids are still toddlers. I have a toddler, and then obviously I have a 70-year-old. But it's I don't get free time. I think the only time that I get that's free, and I mean it's actually not free, is when they're gone to school.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's not really much me time. As I said to you earlier, I used to wake up. Well, I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning. That's my thing. I'll wake up
Yes.
3 o'clock in the morning. But my kids can be early birds. Like, get there. I don't. I honestly don't know what goes through their mind. But the minute they see there's a light on, they're up. So I haven't mastered the fact of getting free time for myself, and I think that's a big thing for me
Mm-hmm.
because when you think about being a mom, self care is important,
Yes.
but you do get lost. And when you do get lost, it's you can't find yourself sometimes. And I think I'm half there and half, you know, I know that free time is important. I know that making time for myself is
Mm-hmm.
everything, but I'm not there yet. So I haven't
Mm-hmm.
mastered that. Have you?
Well, I would say I haven't mastered it either. I am a new mommy, and so everything is really new. And I am also like literally, going through the motions and all of that. And I think it is, in our time, day and age that we're living in, if I look at, how vocal we are about things, for me, for one, I'm not afraid to say if I'm having a day where I'm really struggling. And if I look at our parents back then, I never heard my mom complaining, or not that we're complaining, but we're just voicing. And I would say to my husband, I'm really tired and I just need a minute. And so it's difficult for toddlers, especially if you are a toddler mom. It's quite difficult to find the time for yourself. I myself haven't mastered that as yet, but I guess once they become older, it becomes a lot easier because then it's like, I don't want anything to do with you. I either got my girlfriend or I'm on my own vibe type of a thing. But if you are a toddler mom, it's quite difficult. Or if you're a mom to just a newborn baby, it's really not easy to find the time for yourself because you have to be constant. It's a constant parent journey, and there's beauty in it, but we do need time out for ourselves, even if it's just a little bit, like you mentioned, when we had this conversation off camera, that you, even if it's just in the shower, at least something. I'm lucky and fortunate. If I do
Sorry.
have, a breakdown moment, and I speak to my husband about it, he'll be like, you know what, you need time out. Do what you need to do. Don't stress about it. So I'm very fortunate to have that. And then we have our parents, both our parents also play a pivotal role that really stands with us. So it's really nice to have the help around. But as a mom, you need to be present all
Mm.
the time. It's like a 24/7, like day and night, hour to hour, second to second, and you just don't find the time, unfortunately, for me. Yes, and like you mentioned, and I guess when they're older, show we most probably will have more time, and then we'll miss them more.